The transfer windows only closed less than 2 weeks ago, yet already Chelsea have secured their first major signing of the 26-27 season, as this afternoon Emanuel Emegha is set to sign a 7-year deal. Emegha is a 6'5" speed merchant Dutch menace. Emegha is already warming up to Chelsea fan hearts.
I had the opportunities to go to other European top clubs that play in the Champions League. I spoke with Chelsea, with Strasbourg, with Bluco, what would be the best for my career. We had the open discussion, and we thought that the best for my career would be if I would stay in Strasbourg for 1 more year to lead the team in Europe and then go to Chelsea.
Emegha is our new striker for next season. Expect goals, expect pace, expect a Mapiano. I'm here to put you guys on to what to expect from our new signing in Emanuel Emegha. Shout out to Nino12X for producing this comp in record time. Maybe this guy's put onto these deals in advance. Nino, you have to let us know, man, because the pace is too mad. Anyway, Emegha, 14 goals and 22 appearances in the league last season. The guy has been a promise for a long time, and it's for these types of details inside the books. He scored 14 non-penalty goals in Ligue 1. I think that's a really respectable record for someone that young, producing key goals. And inside the books, this guy is a threat. He knows how to evade his markers, but he has the physicality, of course, which players can't match. Moments like this here. Pace. And he scores with his left foot. But let's take this moment back a little bit right now. For me, it's the mental side. Why is it that some, speedy strikers hit levels and others don't? It's for the key details that I'm going to explain to you guys right here. Now, it's the anticipation. Of course, he has a really good understanding on how to judge the flight of a ball. Maybe he has a bit of an advantage being 6'5". I'm sure that helps quite a lot. The defender is all over the place right now, but Emegha was on the right side of the ball to expect and better anticipate the trajectory. He gets his moment here, gets his arms in front of his man, push him to the ground, and now he's through on goal. And moments like this, many strikers have to show composure here, have to hold their nerves, and need to have an idea in their heads about what they're going to do before they even get close to the goal. Emegha, nice long strides, nice deft touches to set himself up for the shot. And after looking at the opposite side of the goal, with the keeper thinking, could he be going to take a shot with his left foot on the right? He opens his body up and places it on the bottom left corner. That is a really composed and classy finish from Emegha. Really promising signs. Bro, the Amapion at the bridge celebrations, bro. I'm going to be ready for that, yeah? I'm going to be ready for that. Like when Nkunku signed for us, I was expecting big things with the mask. It never happened. But with Emegha, yeah, the vibe's going to come back, man. Ooh, you know what? I love these little deft type of, what I call them, Miroslav Klose finishes. If you guys remember the German striker Klose, he just had like these mad first time deft finishes. And when I was young, I would always try and score the right way because of Klose. But bro, Emegha, again, in these moments here, when his body is in front of the defender, you're lost. You're done for. You're out the game. This is his bread and butter. Look how he just holds it off, and then look how he just a little deft finish with the left foot. I think having a striker that's comfortable with either foot is always a really promising sign to have. And listen, the club clearly believe in this guy. He's been the project striker for a long time, since Bluco signed him from Sturm Graz in Austria. But moments like this here, this is what he needs to add to Chelsea now he's signing for us. Again, he's got the strength. He can hold the ball up. The guy's aerial dual success rate is like at 40%. He's strong. But when you come to Chelsea, you're going to have Cole Palmer. You're going to have Estefan. You're going to have all these players, Joao Pedro, that you have to play with. And these moments here, can you set your man up? Can you find the pass? Which he does. Simple, easy goal. I mean, if I'm keeping things real, you guys, the type of goals that he's scoring at Strasbourg, they won't be consistent for him at Chelsea Football Club. The level's going to be higher. The Premier League's a much more difficult league. But he's showing the signs that I think would make him an interesting competition striker for next season. Because that's what he's been bought to do. He's been bought to come in and compete. And we're gambling on him. If the gamble is a success, then we've got the next big striker. If not, he'll get moved on, and there's probably like 3 other strikers, obviously in your queues. I'm hearing things about Panageli at Strasbourg as well that will probably keep watchful eyes over. But moments like this here, look how he evades this marker on the far left right now. The entire defense is concentrated on ball watching the incoming cross. Emegha is anticipating that backward is going to find him at the back post. He stops his run there as he notices the defensive line shifting towards the ball. And then being 6'5" helps because he doesn't even have to take a leap. In fact, he has to crouch a little bit to direct that header, and he directs it at the near post. Great goal. I mean, the thing I'll give credit to Emegha for is that he had a lot of responsibility. His finishing isn't like world class, it's strong, but he was scoring the opening goals, the equalizers, the winners at Strasbourg. Yeah, a lot of responsibilities, but let's take it back here. The pace. This guy, one of the fastest players in Europe, had the fastest running speed in Liga last season. But these moments here, not gonna lie, I see a little bit of that Tammy Abraham slightly, low-key. I see a little bit, because he was also quite a languid type of tall striker. But he has a bit of footwork to his game, which I would like to see him use a bit more. I'm going to be really focusing on what he does at Strasbourg this season, especially in Europe, because obviously you want to see more excellency in his game now, knowing that he's signing for us next summer. But again, a nice little shift then. You know, nice little dummy to the right, comes back inside on the left, gets past his man, and forces a shot from an acute angle, which I think the pass was the stronger option then. But little signs like this, look how deep he comes to receive the ball from the halfway line. We know that if you're a Maresca striker, we've seen it with Nico, we've seen it with Joao Pedro, even Delap. You need to be more than just a striker. You need to be a fulcrum for your team as well too. And it's good to see promising signs that Emegha is more comfortable across different zones compared to only being closer towards goal. Look at that pace here. Another thing he likes to do is run the channels. I don't know how often he's going to get that, but moments like this here, that is where I think this guy has some interesting promise, right? Because he's strong, he's 6'5", the guy is built, and he's not even like fully mastered his physicality just yet. He can improve on that even more. But having a big guy with speeds, yeah, with a bit of ambidextrous play to his game too, you know, that makes him a pretty unique profile. Holds the ball up, plays it back to his teammates. Nice little play then. First touch away, gets his body in front of the man and just accelerates away. But here, this is what I like about Emegha, which you've seen already in the fan base, his timing of his movements. I think it's interesting that Santos is playing with his former partner in crime. This clip doesn't do full justice because if you guys remember this goal in particular, he literally stops and started his run like 3 times before getting it right, showing you how he is thinking constantly on the fly. And just knowing how to position yourself between the defenders then, and then timing your run. This is what I mean. Great strikers have great movement, which encourages teammates to find you and play balls where you want them. That's the promising sign to look out for. Now, I say promising quite a lot, you guys, because we're signing so many promising players. Not everyone's the next Mbappe or whatever. But you can only look at their fundamentals right now. You have to think about how they can complement that game style with us. But then sometimes that's not enough because Emegha's competing against Delap and Joao Pedro next season. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. But that's a nice little goal then. He's showing like really promising signs in terms of composure in front of goal, running at keepers. Takes the ball back inside. Enough strikers don't do that too often. This is a great finish then. See, let's look at the details, bro. Look how he just withdraws away from the Mets defense. And again, the movement starts the actions from his teammates. I think that's why the club like what this guy does. Look how he comes towards the ball then, holds his run, and sets himself up for a great acute finish inside the box. I guess at Chelsea, we need some box specialists. I think a lot of the fan base maybe had some qualms about whether we necessarily invested into signing like a box predator. Many guys in the fan base wanted Victor Osimhen. Can Emegha become our budget Osimhen? Can he be our Osimhen that costs us nothing, that can grow and improve? He has some of those qualities in his game. I do see a little bit of Victor in him. Of course, Victor was already winning titles at his age and played in many different positions. But Emegha so far has those big qualities that I think the club really like. And the box presence here, you know, of course, finds himself in the right position. And the finish, of course, is incredibly easy then. He's not going to miss that. But I like how he kind of just like, you know, dips down low to ensure that the flight of the ball is going towards goal. Because sometimes, you guys, certain men will mess things up because they get too cocky and, you know what I mean, get a little bit complacent. Finds one of his teammate, great finish from Moreira. Bro, I think I just saw so many highlights and goals from Strasbourg last season. I think Diego Moreira looks really interesting too. Like these moments here, how he's finding his teammates, you know, pass and go. And look at this little pass here. Look, plays it back first time, but his first instincts, look, is to make sure he's running on the far side, just in case any rebounds become accessible. This is how the guy thinks. Lemachel scores here, 1v1. You're not going to get him, bro. Nice little acute pass outside the boot. On the counter-attack, I've always felt at Chelsea, like, you don't want to play us in a transitional game because that's kind of always been our bread and butter. I don't know what it is about our club, but that's forever been our bread and butter, and we're at our most dangerous then. And I think Emegha obviously adds to that transitional threat. Ooh, nice shot. He's not taking too many shots outside the box. No, that's not even him, bro. Ignore me. That's Diarra. That's Habib Diarra at Sunderland now. But just look at the little movements here. This is what I like how he thinks. You know, I like how the guy thinks. Look, he's running in between defenses, getting ready to anticipate anything that falls to him inside the box. Yeah. Look. He was the first one reacting to anything then. And if the ball just kind of bounced towards his direction, maybe he's bagging 15 goals last season. Good run. Ah, good. Yeah. Everything good was great then. But then he had to take another touch then. But I get it. Play, pass and go. Accelerating into space. Easy poacher efforts. And these moments here, bro, he's got you beat. You're not stopping this guy. He gets brought down. That's the only way you're stopping him, fouling. You're fouling him, and that's it, you're off. Ooh. But it does feel like the club see Emegha as someone with more potential as a Nico Jackson, which is interesting. Really interesting. I think Nico had a lot to his game, but I guess it's more like box qualities that we want from a striker now. I think we have the creativity outside in different positions, like down the flanks at 10. But yeah. Oh, that's a bad finish, bro. He did everything right then. Everything right. And he gassed it with the outside the boot finish then. He gassed it. Just had to use his left foot, bro. I didn't even wrap it round properly. Nah, that's poor, man. Obviously, I say promising quite a lot because don't expect that this guy's conversion rate is like 30% or something ridiculous. He's had his moments where he's not as clinical as he can be. But this is the potential you're buying into. When he's like 25, 26, is he going to be that supreme guy in front of goal? He's showing that he can get you a lot of goals. He's just always in the box at the right time. Unlucky he's not scoring there. Great power behind his header then. But it's just how he constantly just finds himself inside the box. How he's constantly evading markers. But I won't lie to you guys. I'm still kind of curious to know how his best game translates with us. Because, you know, you're like Osimhen's, your Jamie Vardy's, your last line type of strikers that run in behind, time their runs, rely a lot on their pace and a lot of, box play as well. How does that translate at a club who dominates possession and regularly plays against teams that park the bus? I still have question marks on that. But I guess in terms of like maybe pure ingredients, maybe with Emegha's, really promising excellency in terms of how he maneuvers and plays inside the box, I guess there's big upside that he could be that key guy for us up front, right? It's a goal mouth situation, Emegha's in the right area. If it's a long ball playing direct, he's there to win it and head it down. If you're crossing inside the box, now you have one of the tallest strikers in the league offering you something that you didn't have before. And look at the little promise here in terms of the contacts, because he's going to have that a lot in the Premier League. Look, backs into his man properly. Obviously, it's not Drogba-esque, but Drogba didn't even have that pattern at the same age. That became a skill he added. But this is going to be really helpful. We've seen promising signs of like a Liam Delap against West Ham, showcasing, what it's like having a forwards that can ride contacts and just kind of lay off passes to his teammates. So Emegha can definitely do that in his game. And I'm really excited to see how his season develops before signing for us. I'm expecting that to be a big upside in his game, right? Yeah, you guys, that's everything from Emanuel Emegha. Big promise around this kid, long-term target. This guy's been in the pipelines for a minute. The club always foresaw that he'd have a roadmap to the club one day, and that day is coming next season. Share your thoughts and opinions below on how you're feeling about the signing of Emegha. Do you see like a young Osimhen in the making, or are you seeing someone else? Let us know, and I'll catch you guys with more videos. Love. Cool.